Every time I think of that, I just think of like Jack Black in School of Rock. Just
Oh yeah. For some reason I always think of Shrek 3. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm. Oh man, it's been a long time since I've watched that movie.
Yeah. I don't think it's as bad as people say, but
It can't be worse than what's about to come out because they changed the animation style.
yeah.
I will let it come out and I will let it do its thing, but like based purely off of animation, it's not going to be great.
Like right now, the standing scale would be 2, 1, 3, 4.
2/1?
Two is peak cinema.
2 is good, but like Shrek 1 just fucking slapped.
I mean, it could be
dude.
one of those when they're like right on the same level.
I can't get behind that.
Damn.
Puss in Boots was great. Like, don't get me wrong. Like introducing Puss in Boots, and then like the Fairy Godmother's great. Prince Charming is hilarious, but at the same time, like Shrek 1 was just so like it changed the name of the game for DreamWorks and just like animation in general. Like it was the most non-kids movie I've ever seen. Like it was borderline PG-13.
Yeah.
Just because of all the innuendos.
So I didn't get to see it in theaters.
Yeah.
My parents went and got it on VHS, and I watched it at home for the first time. Shoot, what was that? That was like 2001.
2001.
So yeah, I would have been 5.
Yeah.
And I remember toward the end when they're arguing, and he's like, "Stubborn jackass, smell the yogurt." I was like, he said the word.
You stubborn ass. And I was just like, that movie is border. And then all the sexual jokes that are in there
my God.
is just insane.
Welcome back to the Interesting Theory podcast. I'm Aaron.
I'm Tanner.
And today, as you can tell by the title, we have a buddy read, but a little bit of a different kind of buddy read.
Yeah.
We announced what this video was going to be in our last video that you didn't see because our audio and video got corrupted. So we'll explain what the premise is before we get started, but let's do our reading updates first.
Yeah. So my reading update, I have finished Empire Book 2, which the title escapes me. Empire of the Damned. I've done our buddy read, and then I have started Empire of the Dawn, and I am 15% into that one. It's been a little slow going, but not the book. My reading has been slow, so
it's been very busy couple of months.
Yeah.
I've just, other than our buddy read, I've been getting through the Shadowhunter books.
Yeah.
And I'm on the third book of the Last Hours trilogy.
Nice.
And then I'm on to like 10 to 15 short stories before I get to the next book.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be fun.
Yeah. And then just life in general has been busy, so reading has kind of fallen off.
Yeah.
A little bit.
I used to be able just to listen to a lot of audiobooks when I was at work, but now work has picked up so much that it's hard to even focus. Yeah. Like the buddy read we did at 1.5 speed should have been 5.5 hours.
Yeah.
It took me like 2 weeks to get through it when that should have been a couple days.
Yeah.
On and off and stuff, but
yeah, I think I it took me exactly a week to read my buddy read, and it's just like for time, like I was my workout schedule is pretty crazy right now. Working out 5 days a week, running 3 to 4 days a week on top of working out, and so it's that plus moving, Magic Nights, D&D, everything else has just been fun. So we had some technical difficulties and had to restart this video as well.
This is take 2.
Yeah, we were in the middle of talking about the Hobbit Magic the Gathering release. We have bought a bunch of packs. We're in the midst of building our own individual decks based on those in the Commander format. But yeah, so got a lot going on, having a lot of fun. But yeah, that is the update of the reading.
Book and life update.
Yeah. It's been several weeks since we've gotten to record. It was a couple of weeks in between the last video we recorded, and then it decided to not work. And then it's been a couple of weeks since then as well. So
yeah.
But here we are. We've got this one going, so
yeah. Fingers crossed, knock on wood. So to go ahead and just get right on into today's topic, what we mentioned in the end of the last video that y'all did not see was that Tanner and I were going to give each other a book that we each had read, but the other had not.
Mm-hmm.
And they were books specifically that we really wanted to talk to someone about, but no one in our life had read.
Yeah.
And so we were just kind of sitting here. Like my pick, there was a little bit of book talk conversations, but like I didn't have anyone to really just talk about them with.
Mm-hmm.
And then yours, neither of us had heard until you had picked it up the first time. So it was wild.
Yeah.
So
I'll preface this with this is going to be a pretty spoiler heavy situation.
Yeah,
here.
we're gonna have to. I'll try to mitigate the spoilers, but like it's unless we just want to like get right into it.
I kind of want to get right into it, just
Okay.
for the fact that we haven't. Like we've both kind of given our review and kind of some hot topics, but
Okay.
we have not gotten into the nitty gritty of the books and why we gave them like kind of the reviews that we did.
Okay.
And so
we'll go ahead and give spoiler warning right here, right now. If you don't want to be spoiled about Between Two Fires by Christopher Buehlman and The Hike by Drew McGarry, stop the video now, read them, come back later. This is your last warning.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'll start us off. I read Between Two Fires, and it's been on the list for a while. I hadn't read it. Aaron read it quite a while ago.
Back in October.
A spooky read.
It was a spooky season read.
Yeah. And then, like I said, it took me about a week. I gave it about, right now I'm sitting at about a 7.5. It was not what I expected at all.
I think that's just the theme of this buddy read is not what I expected.
Yeah. And I intentionally told Aaron a little bit about the book I gave him to read, but not enough to like even. I just said you get to a certain point and it's just off the rails.
And I honestly forgot a lot about because you told me quite a bit, but other than like the beginning, I forgot a lot about it.
Yeah. And the beginning itself is only like, I think what I told you maybe happens in the first 3 chapters of the book. And then after that, it's just insane. This book wasn't what I was expecting in both a good way and a bad way. Because it is all over, like not all over Book Talk, but a lot of the book bros have read it and they just like, they put it on a pedestal and it fell short of that for me. I still thought it was a good book. The plot was a little less there. And then for me, it didn't back it up with super in-depth character arcs. Like Thomas had a overarching, like he was the main character of the book.
Right.
And it follows him. He's a disgraced crusade knight who is traveling with this girl and priest, and they're in 13 or 1400s France.
I think it's 1300s because it's during the plague.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, I don't know if it is the plague or a plague or if there was a different plague. I thought it was the Black Plague, which was mid 1300s.
And that's what it is. Like this is a historical fiction book.
They call it medieval horror.
Yeah. And that was one of the elements that let me down a little bit. I was thinking horror, like a little bit more horror. There were some scenes that I was just like, okay, I can kind of get behind that. But it was a lot less of that.
Yeah.
There was a scene in the book that or a couple of things in the book. There's some topics touched on that made me uncomfortable. Specifically the, like, man, do I want to say it in the video? I don't think it's going to,
is there a way you could phrase it that doesn't make it sound...
Or
are you worried about like the words getting us flagged?
Yeah.
Or... Oh, yeah.
It was pretty graphic, and I'm just like, that's not anything I'm interested in like exploring. And so I could have left that off the table. They could have maybe insinuated it. I understand like that is a part of the book and like what it's driving, not what it's driving at, but like the evilness in the world. I'm just like, that's not my jam.
Yeah. I agree with you on that.
I will say the imagery was really good in the book. He does a really good job, like of going in depth of what you see. So like I didn't have a problem visualizing anything that was happening. Everything just went so fast.
Yeah, it did.
I was hoping to like sit in the moment with some things, and it was like I'm here and I'm gone.
Yeah.
But other than that, the last 5% was my favorite part of the book. How it ended up was really nice. I wouldn't call it the twist ending because it wasn't a twist at the end, but just like the 3 knocks from the gal at the end, I was like, I like that. Who Delphine ended up being, unbeknownst to technically Delphine, but like in the overarching, I was like, didn't see that coming. Overall, solid book. I would have read it eventually, moved it up in my timeline. It is above The Devils for me. I had some of these same complaints with The Devils of just like it moved in and out of these things way too quickly. It didn't sit with them, but he did it better. Like I liked his characters more. I think there was more of a plot to it, and there wasn't a letdown at the end of the book. Like it did lead to something. There was, like a good ending to it. So that's kind of it, with like pretty spoiler heavy, except without dropping who Delphine was. Like, but the imagery is fantastic. I would have loved a little bit more horror.
Yeah, I'll agree with you on that. I think I enjoyed it slightly more when I first read it, because at the time I hadn't really read a lot of stuff like that. It was all like kind of your stereotypical fantasy stuff, a little bit of sci-fi, but it was, Cosmere. It was what was I reading at the time? Red Rising.
Like Will of the Many, Strength of the Few.
Will of the Many, yeah, that was around that time too. So a lot of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Then you dive into this. I hadn't really done horror, and I thought, well, if I'm, I read a lot of fantasy, maybe I do a fantasy horror. And this is not, it's, in a way, it's kind of like a light religious fantasy, because there are some fantastical elements to it. They call it just a medieval horror, but there is a slight element of fantasy in there.
Yeah.
And there are times where I was like, oh, it's like this hard fantasy, and then, oh no, that was just a dream.
Yeah.
Kind of
thing. Yeah, like that. I think that was the one thing. Like a lot of it felt like a lot of it was happening in their heads as opposed to really happening in the world. Like,
yeah.
There was the fever dream essentially where he was like getting wasted at the thing, and like they did the like knights jousting thing, but like that the book leads to it that it didn't happen, but also that it didn't not happen.
Yeah, I think it was like left to reader interpretation, which I like.
Yeah.
But I think it was just something that I had not experienced before. So I was like, okay, that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like, didn't agree with everything, but that was still fun.
Yeah. Like I said, I liked the book. I only have a couple of like actual gripes. It's just like, it's the vocal minority thing. These are the things I'm going to talk about that I didn't necessarily like.
Yeah.
But I thought it had, for me, overall, it was a pacing thing more than like lack of plot. Like the lack of plot brought it down slightly, because it doesn't just have like this, like from start to finish, like here is what we're working towards. You don't know what they're working towards the entire time. So, as a third person view of like the book is written in third person, and in third person, you don't know what's happening sometimes, which is fine. But typically, like first person, you usually don't know what's happening like in the outside world. But this is one of those ones where it's like, maybe 100 more pages to slow it down a little bit.
Yeah.
Let me dig in. Like there was, I feel like a lot more to be explored here.
Yeah. I think it was just over. It was just over 400, right?
Yeah, it was like 430 or something like that.
It was pretty close.
Yeah. But I enjoyed it. Glad I read it. But I think the only thing that did this book a disservice for me is what I read it in between. I'm in between Empire books, and it doesn't hold a candle to those in my opinion. They're completely different books, but they're both grim, dark. One's fantasy vampires, the other one is like medieval horror. I lean more towards the fantasy side.
Yeah.
But I think the Jay Kristoff writes more my speed. Than
He's very good with pacing in general.
Yeah. On a side note, I just like watched a TikTok today, and this guy was like, someone convinced me to continue Empire of the Vampire. It has all the elements I like, but it just feels slow. And I'm like, it's the first book in a thick trilogy. Book 1 is the shortest, and it's not a short book.
Right.
And it's just like, you're not, she said she was like 25% in. I was like, dude, you ain't even gotten anywhere. Because I understand her, like, because the beginning of that book, because it jumps around in like times, and you're just like, okay, the pacing's a little slow. But like, I think it was like,
I always give a little grace to the first book when it comes to pacing.
I didn't even think it was bad pacing. I was just like, it takes you a minute to like, you need to learn who these characters are. You're jumping into a story, and I won't go into detail on that because I don't want to spoil anything for anybody.
We'll eventually have an episode on that too.
Yeah,
I think
once I'm finished.
Once you've finished, we can just talk about everything.
Yeah. So overall, like the book, that's my thing. I don't see anybody ever giving this just like, this is the best book you're ever going to read. And I think that fits. I think for me, I'd heard a lot of hype about it, so I was expecting a little bit more. It didn't fall too short of where I thought it was going to land. So
yeah, I had heard about it from Jeff off TikTok, Bloodfire Jeff, for those that are wondering. And
I went back and watched his video on it. I skipped his video months and months ago when I think he read it sometime last year.
Yeah.
I skipped his video on it. I was like, he goes pretty in depth on things when he does it. And so I skipped his video, and then I went back and watched it, and he was like, here's a lot of the things. I was like, it's not rare that I disagree with him. I disagree with him on some of the things he has. I was like, this is almost a full comparison. I think he rated it slightly higher than I did.
Yeah.
But I was like, I agree with a lot of these things he said. I think it gears maybe more towards his, like, you'll rate a book higher based on your vibes of a book than a book that's not in your wheelhouse. So
yeah.
So
I read The Hike by Drew McGarry. Tanner read this
beginning of the year.
It was the beginning of this year.
It was pretty early in the year.
It is a book where through most of it you are asking yourself, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It is a very WTF book, and not in a bad way.
Yeah.
You're not like, why am I reading this? You're more like, what is happening? So before I get into too much detail, we'll give you like the brief, like first couple chapters so you understand where the story starts. And like, they're short chapters. So like, you'll read the first couple chapters in like 10 minutes. It's not very long.
Yeah.
A guy goes on a work trip, stays at this lodge, decides to go on a little, nature walk before his big meeting that night, and finds a path behind the lodge, starts walking down it, noticing some cool, like campsites or fire pits or whatever, gets to the end of the path and sees a gate. And as he's like, oh, maybe I should turn around, looks through the gate, and down at the house there, he sees a dude wearing a Rottweiler mask, dragging a dead body out.
Yeah.
With like I think they said the feet were missing.
And this is chapter 2.
This is chapter 2.
Like, this is it.
Yeah. Like chapter 1 is set up of like, hey, there's this dude. He's going out of town. And then chapter 2 is, I'm going to go on a hike. What's that?
Yeah.
And then the dog face guy, apparently there's 2 of them. They start chasing him through the woods. And once he finally gets settled and thinks he's, lost them, he now realizes he doesn't know where he's at, and he's trying to find his way back. Walks up the mountain to try to get a higher view, and now he is lost.
He's lost on the path.
And basically from here to the end of the book, he is trying to make his way back to his room at the lodge, and it's almost like a acid trip odyssey.
Yes.
Because it's very much just a man trying to get home and encountering like creature after deity, like just one thing after another. And it's not like a rip off or a rewriting of the Odyssey. It's just it gives that same kind of vibe.
Yeah, it is a journey.
It's a journey. It's not a hero's journey by any means.
No.
Because I will say there were a couple choices or a few things of the way this guy thinks that I'm like, why am I reading this guy? I don't really like him.
Mm-hmm.
But it's more of, this is a regular dude out in the world. This isn't like supposed to be our hero of the story or anything. This is just, you grab some random family man and put him in this hellhole and
it's just
watch
Ben.
what happens.
Ben.
It's just Ben. And so that's kind of the base premise. And basically from that point forward, anytime I'm listening to it, I'll be at my desk working, typing, and my face is like, what the fuck?
Yeah. There's a lot going on in this book, and it's short.
Mm-hmm.
300
like I said,
pages.
Like 1.5 speed on Audible gets you 5.5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think it's technically like 8 hours, 20 minutes or something like that total. You can get through it pretty fast, but I would advise you to slow it down a little bit because there's a lot of nuance in this book.
I would say
you might miss some things.
There's not a lot of throwaway. Like there's not a lot of stuff that you can miss.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a book to have, and it's not cozy.
No.
It's not Legends and Lattes where it's like you can be 45% of the book and you're like, I know what's happening, and you've listened to maybe 3/4 of that.
If you get distracted and you miss a minute of it, you're gonna be like, wait, what happened? Mm-hmm. I had to skip back a few times and then eventually just pause it while I was at work because I just realized it was one I needed to focus on.
Yeah, I read it on my Kindle. I've not been known to skim, but like there are books where it's like, if you're reading and like, I've read all of Sarah J. Maas's stuff, and it's like when it comes to like the sex scenes, I'll sometimes skim.
Yeah,
I'm like, this isn't plot related. I don't need to know what's happening. And sometimes it'll be a page and a half. Sometimes it'll be like a couple of paragraphs. But like I'll skim through it. You can't skim.
Nah.
So,
I would say I think I told you I rated it about a 7.5.
Mm-hmm.
And some people think 7.5 is a bad rating.
No.
I think that's a good rating. That's a solid book.
Yeah.
It was a really good story, even though until the end I was just like, what the hell is going on? Was it one of my favorite reads? No, but it was definitely something different.
Yeah.
I think my experience might have been hindered a little bit because I did the audiobook.
Yeah.
And I told you that the narrator sounds like a slightly more enthusiastic Michael Kramer.
Yeah.
He's the guy that reads all of Brandon Sanderson's books. He's how would I describe him? He's not monotone, but he is like, I don't know, would you say classical sounding?
Yeah,
like there's
a little less like full excitement all the time and reading every line with like inflection.
Ash fell from the sky.
Yeah,
like he's very serious even when he's being happy.
Yeah.
This guy just sounded a little bit more optimistic, but is very similar voice.
Yeah,
and I don't think this guy has, like, the character Ben has that voice. Mm-mm. And so it felt a little off.
You sent me a clip of the audio and I was like, this isn't what I had in my head because I had just read it on my Kindle. I didn't listen to it at all. And so I could see how that may have thrown you. But yeah. I gave it in my app, I think 4 stars technically.
Yeah.
But I think it, because it's a 4 out of 5 rating there. I think anywhere from a 6 to an 8 on this book is solid.
It's fine, yeah.
Like if you're giving it a 10 out of 10,
yeah,
that's purely vibes, but like how well it's written, and like I think it could have been slightly longer in this instance. But
there are times where I think he could have added a little bit. It's the same thing with Between Two Fires. Mm-hmm. Like there are some moments where you could have added some more pages, give a little bit more time with these certain situations. But I don't know. I don't think it suffered from that as much as Between Two Fires.
Mm-mm.
Gosh, I'm trying to decide how much spoiler stuff I actually want to talk about, because there are things that I want to talk about that just. You all right?
Yeah. So I got my knee tattoo finished the other day, and so I'm trying to be really careful not to touch it. And I just scratched at it, and it's still pretty raw. Shout out to Tyler if you watch this. He does watch.
Yeah, and he does some dope work. We'll have to put a picture up on the screen of the final product because it looks sick. So this dude. Okay, I want to talk about the end.
Dude, that's the best like I part.
Just heavy spoilers. I won't talk about everything that happens in the book, but like this part right at the end just it makes you go, wait, what?
Can we set up the end before you talk about it?
So at how far back do we want to start setting it up?
I only think it needs one line. Technical, it's a few sentences, but his wife is a nurse, and he talks early in the book about they don't talk about work. When they're at home, they talk about home.
Especially her work.
She's a nurse in like the ER, and it's rough. Yeah. It is rough. She comes home one night, and she's like, I can't talk about what happened. And it's brutal.
Yeah, like she was in tears.
Yeah, in tears, and like it's rough, and that's their thing. They don't talk about it. They acknowledge it, and they move on. And you get to
toward the end. Basically, he is at this point where he is making a deal to get back home.
Mm-hmm.
He has spent a significant amount of time trying to get back home.
Yes.
And it is said like, all right, well, you can either go home or you can stay and kind of do your own thing and live in your own paradise.
Yeah. Essentially, you can be in this version, you can be God, basically, of this world. You'll have your family.
Full control over how life works out for you.
Exactly. And that is the decision he's been given at the end.
The caveat is that if he goes home and he says anything to anyone about what happened, he's dead.
Yeah. He can't talk to anybody about it.
Yeah.
He gets to live with what happened.
Yeah.
You could never talk about it.
And he chooses to go home.
Kind of.
Yeah. I like I said, I won't say everything, but like he finally gets to go home. He gets home to his wife. Like he like, because when he gets back to where he was supposed to be, it is back in the time when he left. Yeah. So like no time had passed, and he's like, all right, I'm skipping this meeting. I'm just gonna go back home.
Yeah.
And I'll reschedule whatever.
Yeah.
Gets home, sees his wife and kids, and he is like, he has this look in his eyes. He's like worn out. So like I said, it's been a significant amount of time.
Years.
And she's like, are you okay? And he's like, I can't really say, or I forget exactly how it happens, but there's this moment where they look in each other's eyes and they realize that they've gone through the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Or he thinks that night when she came home crying and she said, I can't talk about it, he's realized that maybe she has gone through the same event that he just did. And then, because it's also mentioned that other people are chosen for this path as well, but neither of them can talk about it to confirm.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise they'll die.
Yeah. So,
and that's how it ends.
It's not even heavily implied. And this is how I read it. I was trying to see if it was available so I could get the actual like lines from the book. But nowhere has it available. I'm not about to buy it because I've already read it. Yeah. It is not even, I don't even think it's heavily implied. It's that when they look into each other's eyes, he remembers the time when like, he looked into her eyes that night when she was saying he can't do it. And he then realizes that maybe she has taken the same path that he has. And like she does the same. And it's just like,
because I think he even makes a comment of like, that night after that night, she wasn't ever really the same, and she
Yeah.
kind of felt like she had not aged, but there was just like something that changed who she was fundamentally as a person.
Yeah.
And they both kind of just like,
It was I think a perfect ending to this book, but it didn't anger me, but I didn't see it coming. That is what got me. Like, I read the line about her having this night years ago.
and that was very early in the book.
Very early. And it didn't feel, it felt like a throwaway line, and not in terms of, what is it? Chekhov's smoking gun, right? It's that principle of like, why would you say that if you're not going to have the payoff? Like, why talk about what it is? Why were the curtains blue? Why were the curtains blue? Well, because they're blue. Who cares? This was like the biggest line in the book that you don't think about, because like everyone can relate to nurses and doctors have hard nights. They don't want to talk about it. People
It's something
lose their
you just
lives.
don't think about.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, that's normal.
And he sets it up in a way that you just kind of forget about it. And then it pays off in the end, and it felt like a huge payoff that you wanted more of, but I felt satisfied with, because they can't talk about it. He set it up towards like, this is the ending that you get, and you're just like, dang. I threw my Kindle up in the air. My wife was like, what? I was like, the end of this book. She's like, what? I was like, it was good.
Yeah, it very much a question mark.
So, did you think it was good?
I thought it was good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. It's definitely something I'm not used to reading. I'm trying to think. It could have had, like I said, could have had a few more pages to balance out the pace. I would say I didn't like being confused through a lot of it at first, but then after we started making progress toward the last quarter of the book, I was like, you know what? I kind of like the keeping you on the edge of your seat kind of thing. Like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Like, you really cannot guess the ending of this book. There is absolutely no way.
No, like I was sitting there the whole time. Like, as it's revealed, well, we can maybe talk about this a bit off camera, because that's a big plot point. Like,
Yeah.
the ending was spoiled here when we major spoilers ahead kind of situation. But like when he gets on the train, like you're like, okay, I guess that part of just like, oh yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense. I didn't guess that until that point, but at no point was I like, oh, like the crab. Didn't guess that until it was happening.
Bruh. Yeah, that caught me way off guard.
Yeah, and I was like, what the fuck? Okay, cool. Where if we're comparing these books that we gave it, they're nowhere near the same. Where I like The Hike more than I liked Between Two Fires is you knew what you were working towards. His goal was to get off this path.
Yeah.
And you signed up to the shenanigans from the beginning, and you could see that he's working through things as he goes.
Yeah.
In the most convoluted, insane way.
You can't guess the events of the path, but you know that he is on a path.
Yeah.
Literally and figuratively.
The back of the book description does not do it justice.
Nope.
In terms of what you're getting yourself into. But if I think Between Two Fires had a little bit more of like this like clear end point with the twist ending, it would have been maybe higher rated in my opinion. But these books are like comparing apples and oranges. They're not the
really
same at all. But your overall rating was good. Do you agree with me, or you're just like, man, was this book actually this good? Like, was it just because this big twist ending, or like, that's where I'm like,
I don't think it's just because of the twist ending. I think that was just an added little what? I think if you take that bit out and you leave it like he gets home and they live happily ever after, and he doesn't mention that at all, I think the rating would stay the same. I just think it added to that ending to kind of be like,
Yeah.
What the hell?
I would call this, people talk about the Sanderlanche, where it's just 100 pages of, oh my God. And then like Sarah J. Maas is the same thing. All this build up, and then it's just so much happening, bam, all the time. This wasn't an avalanche. This wasn't like it was a mic drop.
Yeah.
Like
you
got a bomb dropped, and like the book walked away, and I felt satisfied with it. But I wanted it to, like, I wanted the husband and wife to talk to each other.
Yeah.
I wanted them to be able to resolve this, and I want the Hike part 2, but the prequel. I want her path now. But it does defeat the purpose, because like, I'm assuming it's the same for everybody. They go on a different journey.
Yeah.
Because he does meet somebody along this path who is on their own path. They intertwine, and then they go their separate way. So, like, I would like to, though I would know what her ending is, I would like to know what her path was, because everyone's path is different. Big metaphor for life. I can't say like that. Yeah. Big metaphor for life. But I would like to continue this exercise of giving each other a book.
I agree.
To read.
Do we want to go ahead and give another one now and just kind of work toward it, or do we want to wait? Do you have one in mind?
I don't, but since we're recording, once we cut this one, I'll pull up some stuff, and then maybe we'll talk about it in the next one.
Fair enough.
And then just because I need to go through my books here. But on that note, would you recommend this book to somebody else?
Yes.
I would also recommend Between Two Fires. I think they're very selective.
Yeah. Like I'm not giving this to my wife.
Yeah.
I'm not giving this to, I don't know, people at work. But I do have friends that I would definitely recommend this to.
Yeah. This isn't Project Hail Mary. This isn't
this isn't everyone can love it. There are select people that that will enjoy it.
Yeah.
It is very much a vibe thing.
For sure.
I like weird shit. Mm-hmm. I think that's why I enjoyed Between Two Fires, because it is weird.
It is. It's got some crazy imagery in there, dude. Like, it is morbid. I was hoping for more horror elements in terms of like actually scary and not horror imagery.
Yeah. I was expecting more of that as well.
I do have a book on my list that I think might live up to that coming soon. I've got Red Rabbit on my list.
Yeah, I'd like to read that too.
And so I'm hoping that is.
I would like to do more horror.
Yeah. If anyone's got any recommendations, maybe some one-offs, some actual horror, like, that is scary. Like, nothing that's going to keep me awake at night, obviously.
I'll say a lot of the horror that has been grabbing my interest, as far as just like slapping them on my TBR, is kind of like a folk horror, or even like I don't know how you describe it. Not a Western horror, but kind of like, I don't know, Civil War time, like 1800s kind of, that kind of vibe, but horror, like those, not modern day horror, like a It. I know it's not modern compared to but like when it came out, it was modern.
Yeah. What is it like? When Buffalo Hunter is set in, stuff like that. Yeah.
That's what's been kind of piquing my interest.
Heck yeah. So, I'm down for anything like older, like modern times. Like, I feel like, man, you got a computer, why aren't you just looking this stuff up? Like, what are you doing?
Horror hits harder when there's less advancements of technology. I think the further you go back in time, the more horror can hit.
Yeah. So, all right. The other bit to this video, I don't know how long we've gone on this one, but
we're still good.
We got some books in. I forgot mine. It's still in the box.
And I already opened mine.
Aaron opened his, so this will be my first time seeing it.
Because I wasn't thinking about doing an unboxing for this one. So we're still on the Broken Binding subscription. And while we're waiting for our second 2 books of The Faithful and Fallen, they started sending out the next set, which is the Susanna Clarke books. The first one of which is Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell.
That thing is a beefcake, dude.
So I don't know how big the original print was, but this is 846 pages.
Yeah.
It is very beautiful. I'll let you look at it and show it off. I've already dove into it.
I got to look at this yet. I only know of the one book by her, and that's the other one we're getting, which is Piranesi, right?
Yeah, I think it's next month.
And so
that's the one I'm looking forward to as well. But so I have seen this book around, or at least the other printings of it, and I knew it had like a limited series in 2015. Still never knew what it was about until I Googled it 20 minutes before you showed up here. And it's like it's set during like the wars between Britain and France, like Napoleon and stuff like that. And it's in a kind of an alternate version of history where like magic existed at one point, but has been lost. And these two guys, like one knows that one does magic and the other one's learning that he can do it. And he's kind of being taught by the other one.
Would you say it has maybe similar vibes to V.E. Schwab's like a darker shade of magic, where we're in alternate universe England, magic's there but isn't kind of vibe, based on what you read?
So I would say that it's similar in concept, but the way it's done is different, and this feels much older.
Yeah. So
I think this is like late 1700s, if I'm getting my history correct.
I'm taking the dust jacket off. I'm being very polite.
The art is amazing.
Yeah, this book is beautiful. Like our Faithful and the Fallen books are beautiful, but just like this like sepia toned brown, yellow, gold like setup is really beautiful. And you've got your stuff here. We also did get images of the other two Faithful and the Fallen books that they
should be shipping out soon.
But no, this one's at home for me. It's still in the box. And I'll open it once I get home. But
and I'll be sure that whenever Piranesi shows up, I won't open it and I'll wait for it on camera. I was just in my brain, I was thinking like, oh, well, we haven't talked about opening these. Well, I'm just waiting for the rest of the Faithful and Fallen to show up.
Well, and we got them a day apart from each other.
Yeah.
Like, or 2 days apart. Like we
both like mine showed up and you're like, yeah, I think mine's like just got through customs.
Yeah, and then mine showed up just the other day.
Yeah.
We no longer live a mile from each other, so that's probably why.
Yeah, it's more like 3.
Yeah. All right.
So but yeah, no, I honestly like we aren't sponsored. We're not, ambassadors for the Broken Binding by any means, but man, they do great work.
Yeah, they just launched or just announced that they're doing Dresden. The first 6 books, I think, is what it said.
It said 3.
What was it? They're doing another one that will have 6. I think that's what
Malazan.
I saw.
They're reprinting Malazan 1 through 6 before the next set comes out.
Yeah. So beyond, once I get my Faithful and the Fallen books, I don't know if I'm going to continue this subscription. We'll have to see.
I'm basically just waiting to see what the next set announced is.
Yeah. Because it's not
I think
cheap.
I think they announced the next one.
Yeah.
I can't remember who it was though.
I'll have to look because they're not cheap, but also you're getting a really good quality hardback collector book.
Right.
Like it's not your standard book you're going to Barney's and Nobles for.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I mean I almost didn't continue it with this one, but I was like, well, I want to read Piranesi. So that'll be a nice copy. And I've heard nothing but good things, so I'm sure I'll want to keep it and like it. But I'm leery about canceling it in case like the next one that comes out is like, oh, we're finally doing special editions of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Or like something big that I love.
Red Rising.
Red Rising. They do Bloodsworn or, Cosmere, whatever it is. I'm like, I don't want to have to get on that wait list again because I was just surprised I got on as fast as I did.
For sure. So should be getting Piranesi soon because it said it's supposed to ship before the other 2 books. And then they said we're shipping.
I thought
soon.
I thought they were shipping this one before the other 2. Then the other 2 will get late August. And then because Piranesi is supposed to be September.
Oh, okay.
So
I thought we were getting both beforehand.
Before the end of this month, we should be seeing Faithful and Fallen.
I'm hoping so.
So
those ones we'll have live unboxings for sure.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. All right, guys. Well, that's all we got for you today. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
See you later.